Hi everyone, I'm Ali Sheikh. I'm the founder and managing partner of Shaikh Law. Today we will be discussing what are closing costs when you're buying a home. Buying a home itself is a daunting task, let alone figuring out what the closing costs would be on the date of closing. So hopefully in this video I will address those issues and give you an insight in terms of what closing costs are. Now, mind you, I would not be discussing the optional closing costs such as moving costs, buying furniture, property inspection, etc. So, what are closing costs when you're buying a property? Number one, and the most important, is the land transfer tax. Here in Ontario, we have land transfer tax for the province of Ontario and a land transfer tax for the city of Toronto. If you're buying a property which is located within the bounds of the city of Toronto, then you are expected to pay land transfer tax twice. What do I mean by that? For example, your land transfer tax is $6,000 on the purchase price. Now, you'd be paying $6,000 to the province of Ontario. If your property falls within the city of Toronto, you'd be paying another $6,000 towards municipal land transfer tax. In total, this would become $12,000 towards land transfer taxes. If your property is in Mississauga, which is not part of the city of Toronto, then just expect to pay Ontario land transfer tax. We get this question quite often with respect to first-time home buyers. In Ontario, we have a rebate for a first-time home buyer. We get clients saying, I'm a first-time home buyer, but my spouse is not. Can I claim for a rebate? No. If your spouse is not a first-time home buyer, you cannot claim first-time home buyer's rebate. Now, when I refer to the term spouse under the family law, it's not necessary that you have to be legally married. You can be a common law partner as long as the definition of common law applies. For example, if you've been living together for continuously 3 years or you have a child from that relationship, you'll still be treated as a spouse. And if your spouse is not a first-time home buyer but you are, you cannot claim for a first-time home buyer's rebate. Question comes quite often is, what is the amount? The amount for a first-time home buyer rebate is $4,000. So if your land transfer tax was $6,000 for the province of Ontario, you can claim up to $4,000 in rebate. Similarly, if the property is within the city of Toronto, that'll be $4,000 for the province of Ontario and $4,000 for the city of Toronto. In total, $8,000 in rebate. People ask us whether they would have to pay this land transfer tax up front and then claim for a rebate. No. When you are preparing your real estate documents, your real estate lawyer will have the necessary documents prepared and adjust the land transfer tax, or basically reduce the amount. So you don't have to pay and then claim the rebate. We also get this question, sticking to the first-time home buyers situation right now, that where the parents are buying property for their child, and the child is of course a first-time home buyer, but the parents may not be. In that situation, the child, being, if let's say 50% owner of the property, can claim 50% rebate in land transfer tax, which would 50% of $4,000 would be $2,000. Now, a child can claim 100%, provided the bank provides a letter where it says that the purpose of the parents being on title was purely for mortgage purposes, and this happens all the time. Parents may have a credit history and the child may not have a credit history with the bank. They've just started their life. In that situation, the bank would say the parents must be on title, but they're there just because they had to secure the mortgage. In that situation, you need necessary documents from the bank, and you need a trust deed showing that the parents are merely trustees on title. In fact, it is the child's property. In that situation, 100% rebate can be claimed as a first-time home buyer. The second most important expense, or the closing cost, is your title insurance. Now, many people just go online and say, but the title insurance is mandatory, and they get a response. There are a couple of documents saying it's not necessary. That is correct. However, I put this to my clients and to everyone who's watching this video that if you're putting 10% down, 20% down, or 30% down payment, 70% stake is of the bank should you be taking a mortgage. The bank puts a condition on a lawyer to make sure to obtain title insurance. A bank is trying to secure their interests. Why would you not be securing your interest? It is important that you take this factor into account. Now, people say, is this a continuous insurance that I would have to pay? No. The title insurance is a one-time payment. You pay on the date of you pay when you purchase the property, and it is due on the date of closing. I have devised an easy formula, but although don't take that this is accurate, but it's an easy formula to understand. If your property is worth $500,000, give or take, your title insurance would be no more than $500. If your property is $600,000, give or take, your title insurance would not be more than $600. So it's an easy formula to understand. However, there are online calculators which will give you exact number in terms of title insurance. And your lawyer's duty would be to provide you with an invoice to give you the exact amount that was paid towards title insurance. However, if you want a quick formula, $500,000 property, $500 title insurance or less. The other, I believe it's number 3, if I'm not mistaken, the third closing cost is the land registry's registration fee. So to transfer a property from A to B, you pay around $75.60 or 62 cents, if I'm not mistaken. It's just $75 and change. And to register a mortgage on your property, it's $75 and few cents. So in total, around $152 that you would be spending towards registering the instruments. We call it instruments, which is registering your title and registering your mortgage. Now, you would also be expected to get fire insurance for your property. Although fire insurance cost, you don't have to send it to your lawyer. You would already secure it elsewhere, but that is a cost that you need to take into account, which I call it the 4th mandatory cost. Now, the first 4 costs that I discuss are mandatory, or you're going to incur it no matter what. The 5th one is your lawyer's legal fees and disbursements. Your lawyer's legal fees and disbursements would vary depending on the lawyer that you select, depending on the lawyer's experience. Now, it is important for you to understand that there is legal fees and lawyer's disbursements. What are disbursements? Disbursements are title searches, photocopying charges, fax charges, bank draft charges, courier charges. Lawyers use software sometimes, so there would be a software charge. Sometimes there would be instructions being sent electronically. There would be a $28 charge for the electronic instructions. Now, these are disbursements which, as per the Law Society, the lawyer should provide you with a breakdown and provide you with the invoice. So if the lawyer did 2 title searches, the lawyer should only charge you for 2, not a lump sum figure of $100 towards title searches. Here at Shaikh Law, what we do is we take this confusion out totally. What we have done is we have set a fixed amount, which is your legal fees, including disbursements for the lawyer's office. So you don't have to worry about whether they were 500 pages of photocopying or they were 200 pages of photocopying. On average, it's about 100 to 200 pages that are printed. So it just takes the headache out for all our clients. It just keeps things simple. It keeps things transparent. It keeps things upfront. The fee is fixed. However, if you're going to your real estate lawyer, ask them that I would need a detailed breakdown of all the items that you have charged me. If there are 3 searches, then you charge me for 3. Now, in our situation, we don't do that. If there's 1 search, or it happens to be that we need to do 3 searches, we'll still charge you for 1. That is our policy decision. I hope this information was helpful. I'm just going to recap for all of you. Land transfer tax, title insurance, registration cost for your transfer, and registration cost for your mortgage, which is around 152 in total, 75, your fire insurance, and your lawyer's legal fees plus disbursements. I hope this information was helpful and I was able to answer the most common questions you guys have. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, you can always email us or write a comment below, and I'll surely try to respond. Thank you and have a great day.